Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Andy. Welcome into the studio. You want to see something cool? Look at this thing, man. I can't point. This is the plasma rack, y'all. You hear that thing? And what you're hearing is a guitar, this guitar and one of the other ones, played through this thing, which is basically putting it through voltage. It runs your signal through live electric voltage, and it gives you like the coolest distorted sounds, right? So this thing is from Game Changer Audio. Game Changer. I said Game Changer. I guess it changes your gain. It gives you some crazy gain. Game Changer Audio. And they have the rack mount unit, they have the pedal units. I think this one's not mine, this belongs to my friend Matt Mahaffey. Check him out, he's an amazing musician, producer, all the things. Thanks, Matt, for the loaner. I had to borrow this for, I didn't have to, I borrowed this for a track I was producing for someone else. And it just was like, needed that plasma sound. And what's that plasma sound, you say? It's this, it's that cool ass, buzzy, fucking It's voltage, dog. That's what it is. It's voltage. So I needed it, and I did the thing, and it went great. And I was like, oh my god, I'm kind of hooked on this thing. I'm gonna keep on like making music and stuff. And I decided, well, I should probably just like do a little video too, because before I'm anything, musically, I'm a guitar player. That's what I'm all about. I like the guitars, like you probably do too. So like, why would a guitar player be interested in one of these plasma devices? Because they're awesome. That's why. This is just a very unique sound. You can't get this sound with anything else. I've tried because of course, I've been over to my friend Matt's house and heard this thing and played with it and was like, yeah, that is totally crazy. I dig that sound. There are some artists that use this thing, like Jack White. He's got some cool tracks using plasma distortion. And so I know this tone in my head, and I've tried before to like, oh man, I want to make something like that, and I'll get out all the fuzz pedals and diode pedals and shit. Nothing does this. I have not been able to recreate this like very well. So, and if you can, like with plugins and whatnot, or something like this in plugins, do drop it in the comments. We would all love to know, because I want like 8 of these things, like seriously. So, what you're hearing is, let's look up here in Ableton. And I'm going to I'm going to show you like all how this thing works, what the knobs are and all that kind of stuff, dude. But this is what you're hearing. It's 3 tracks. So, and if you've been around my channel, if you've checked out anything that I do with like the guitar stuff, if you haven't, you should. Go look it up, dude. How to stack your guitars up and make them big, huge guitars. I like at least 3 guitars. 1 hard left, 1 hard right, 1 in the middle. My middle gain is usually a lighter gain, and my outside ones are heavy as fuck. So this plasma thing is like, well, we're getting all the tones from the same exact thing here. So I'll tweak them as I did a little bit for these. So on the center channel, that's my, less gain. So there's 2 things that you can do with this plasma distortion, the plasma rack. It's basic kind of mode distortion and the oversaturation mode, which is what gives it this crazy good smooth saturation that's just too much. You also do have like a mix knob where you can dial between 100% plasma and 100% your signal. I'm not doing that, man. We're all in on this, dude, right? All in. So it's all the way down. For the center channel sound, I basically just rolled back I bumped up the mids. You can look over here. Oh, it's already there. You can see on the top, we've got a low, mid, and a high controls. The volume is to the far right, to the far left. That's something else for the, for a gate thing or no. the tremolo thing. That's what it is. We'll talk about that later, but we're not using that so much. Low, medium, low, mid, and high. They're pretty active, dude, those things. So we cut out the low, we boost up some mids, just like I do to all my mid-gain guitars. I put an EQ and like make them sound all Navy. And not too much on the high with that one. And then we play with the voltage and the gain. And the voltage and the gain are where kind of the magic happen with this device. So like, because like the lower the voltage, the more harmonic content there seems to kind of be. But as you lower the voltage, then it's harder to get the thing to like push and do cool things. So they have this gain knob, so you can control your gain of your input coming into it, and that lets you like kind of dial in sounds. And then they have a sustain button too right there, which helps you at the lower settings like kind of make them work. And it's like, that's cool. And of course the oversaturation is just sick. So I did not oversaturation on the center channel, and then definitely oversaturation on these other two outside channels. And the outside ones, I pumped up the bottom end and scooped out a little of the mid. And that's what gives you this tone. I'll let you hear them one by one. It's the center. The Kiesel, the right side one. You can hear that. Hear that? Different tone. Les Paul through similar settings. And this is that mid gain. So you can kind of, and it doesn't have the oversaturation on. You can hear the difference with that no oversaturation. So let's put them all together again. Ooh, let's give it some bass. Isn't that just sick? Like, oh my god. So, let's go ahead, we'll pop that to that, and let's play around with this. Let's let you hear a little bit of what happens when we twist these knobs and what they do, right? So let's pull back the low some, put the high back in, give it some voltage, some gain, kill that sustain, kill the oversaturation, make sure tremolo is off. And so you can hear like when you start making sounds like palm mutes and things, like just stuff like that doesn't all the way. That's when you get more of that like electricity sound, which is I like that. So there's like, I guess there's two things that I really like. I love the distortion. It's such a unique distortion sound, but sorry, it's not loud enough. Close enough. It's such a unique distortion sound as I space off, right? But I also like that electricity type sound too, and so I ended up using it on a variety of things in the track that I borrowed this for. So now the magic starts happening when we start to fool around with like, well, I mean, you can see like the EQ controls are pretty active, right? If I start messing with those. And then it's the voltage and the gain that start doing things, right? Again, those palm mutes just sound so cool, don't they? And so we've got the voltage cranked up pretty high there, right? Now, if we turn the gain down at the same time, right? That pulls it back to where it starts to like gets just on the edge of the voltage. And it's in the scope of production too, of course, that this starts to sound cool. Like this is just a raw kind of a sound to me, like that. So we'll give it a little more gain, right? Or really the same gain, but press this saturation or the sustain button. Sorry. And that does already give you a little bit more, you know? Tried to play something that was like solo stuff. A little monitor over here is flashing like a mad insane monitor. So now let's go ahead and like pop the oversaturation on, right? Oh! Pretty sick. And so like I said, the trick is kind of with each tone for me is getting it dialed to where I'm kind of low in the gain and not all that high in the voltage, because like when you get high in the voltage, it gets really screamy messy, you know. So I'm not too big on like super high voltage. But so the other thing that's you're not seeing on this interface down here. So we got an EQ section, a volume, which is just all the way up for me. The mix knob, we talked about that. I'm all in, dog. I'm all in. We're mix heavy, all plasma. Gain and voltage, you know, those are the two that we kind of play with the most there, with sustain and oversaturation buttons, getting us to the places that we need to be. And over there to the left, we have tremolo, right? And you're like, tremolo? Okay. It's more like a stutter button, right? Hear that? So the two knobs, the one at the bottom called rate, and the one up at the top that has just a 0 on it. That's 0 in the middle, and then negative and positive 1. So that puts your tremolo effect kind of at the tail of the signal or at the front of the signal. And so obviously it's gonna get more choppy, like as your voltage and gain thing hits that sweet spot again. So yeah, show me something else that makes it sound like I just made with that. Like that is so cool. So it doesn't stop there, my friends. So like I said, I'm a guitar player. First, before I'm anything else in music, I play the guitars. I love the guitars. You know, I'm all about the guitars. So I adore this thing. I would use the daylights out of this plasma rack thing if I actually had one that was mine. So like I think I'm gonna get the pedal. You know, I don't know if I'm ready to drop the coin on this thing. If I had the coin to drop on this thing, it would be a no-brainer. But I don't have $1,500 lying around. But I do have, probably enough for a pedal. So I think, like I said too, I would like to have a lot of these things. So, at least with the pedal, maybe you kind of can. A little rack of plasma rack pedals, maybe. I don't know. I'm thinking. But so what happens if we put this on other things, right? Let's go ahead and make a buzzy sound in everyone's ears. We're going to put it on the bass here. So we got a bass track and we got a drum track. So the bass track, let's listen to that. Solo it up. Let's run it through some plasma. Oh, okay. I like that. Look at this right here. Who's cursed? If you didn't see it, it said 666. Our peak level on the bass was 666. This thing is straight out of the gates of hell. I told you. You heard it here first. So, yeah, I like that a lot. I'm not even going to mess with that much. I'm feeling a little lazy. What do you want? Drums, too. Watch this. Let's hear what the drums sound. Here's our drums. Oh, wait. We need to make sure these are off. Alright, let's play it a little. Splotch, splotch, splotch. I like that. Those toms at the end. Like 2 big farts. So that's my look for you at the plasma rack from Game Changer Audio. Right, the thing is super cool, super versatile too. You can use it on all kinds of stuff. I've only used it on guitars and bass and drums. I did full and vocals. I used it on a vocal track actually. It's just so unique. If you haven't heard one in person, you got to try it out in person and actually feel how it plays off of what you're doing. Like, it's so dynamic, this thing, and the controls are so dialed in. It's really super cool. Check out the plasma rack from Game Changer Audio. Game Changer. I don't know why I can't say Game Changer. While I'm thinking of it, check the description. There will be links. I've got big ass guitars loop packs coming out. These are just loops you can use in anything, dude, and there's hundreds of loops, and $35 gets you all the loops, so watch for that coming. There is a whole set of plasma loops. Hello, no one's got plasma loops. You do if you get these. So if the link is not down there, it will be. Check back. Check out my other places that I post things, Instagram and the things. Why not hit the little ding ding thumbs up thing, or hit the subscribe button too if you found this useful. I'm a full-time creative dude. I have been for years. This is how I make money. lots of little things that make money. So yeah, if you don't mind, press a button. What you got to lose? I'm gonna get out of here. Rock your day. Appreciate you being here. Have a good one. I said rock your day too soon. That's supposed to be the last thing I say, right? I think so. Rock your day.